Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later. Ah, there you go. I put trace elements rap to the beat. All right? It worked. It worked. All right. That was pretty funny. So thanks, trace elements. I think I'll put that at the end now. Like at the end of the show after we do the flyby. Yeah, why not, right? Yeah, I put this picture. It's actually a doorway, but it looks kind of like a door frame, so I put it there. Yeah, so I think I actually accidentally have rewind mode on. So I don't know how far you guys are behind me. I'm going to hold up my finger, and as soon as you see it say 1, you type in 1, all right? Here we go. That looks like, yeah, it's like 9-10 seconds. It's not too bad, I guess. All right, cool. Thank you. Got my Blazers jersey on, remembering the good old days when there was actually NBA basketball games going on. Yeah, crazy, huh? I'm just waiting for more people to get here. Not saying more are coming, but give them a minute. So you guys like that one, right? It took me a while to get all the timing down. But anyways, it worked. Well, hopefully they'll start the season up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe in June, play 2 months. MUNTS. Yeah. Okay, so I am gonna just get started. Yeah, so I get it was. Oh, hey, thank you, Andrea Ruggiero Drum. I think I still say Andrea sometimes. Yeah. So I think it was October 3rd, right? 2016, when DJ Fickey here was shot and killed. Okay, it's not suicide. See, that's the thing is the police, well, it's kind of gone back and forth a little bit, but the medical examiner has it down as a suicide. And I think it's more because they're just incompetent than anything. It makes no sense at all. Oh. Well, thank you, Miss Skiss. I don't even see
Justice
it.
for DJ Fickey. Thanks for this, Gray. You're awesome. Growing heart.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's totally incompetence on her part. I mean, she literally says something like, well, we found that he had a stimulant in his system, therefore it's suicide. You know, because you're being on a stimulant means you're faster than a bullet, apparently. Right? If you're on a stimulant, therefore, it can never be suicide if you have a stimulant in your system, because you're able to dodge a bullet. I've never seen anything stupid, more dumb in my entire life. But anyways, I'm going to show Amanda's edited down video she made for me. I edited out some just to make it shorter and concise. first. All right? Do you mind if I play that one, Amanda? Well, I'm not bulletproof or anything. Yeah, if you're on the medicine, I see what you're saying. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me switch to the other screen. So she'll just kind of tell you the basic, like the background of what's going on in this story, okay? So here we go. Oh, wait, I gotta put back on the sound because I turned it off. Hold on a second. Here we go. I had it switched over to just my speakers.
DJ, we'll start off with a little bit about DJ. He was a 27-year-old father of 3. He had a little boy and a set of twin girls. He had been married for 2 years to a girl named Brandy. The funniest, lovingest, huge-hearted person you'd ever meet. And I know when people die, everyone says that they'll light up a room and everything else. But with DJ, that was the case. And anybody that ever knew him knows that was the case. October the 3rd, 2016, DJ was shot and killed. It was originally called in as a suicide by the person of interest. A little backstory on the location that it happened at. DJ was friends with the person, the owner of the trailer. They referred to him as Old Man. After DJ and Brandy had got together and got married, he introduced her to Old Man because DJ hung out there a lot. You know, he used to go up there and hang out and stuff. They would go up there and stay a couple days, a couple weeks. They would come back home, you know, stay for a month or so, go back up there. It was a routine with them. They'd go back and forth. During the time that they stayed up there, a guy, well, the person of interest is actually the one. He moved a camper onto the property and moved in and was living in the camper outside of the trailer.
Hey, let me ask you something. This is the property right here. Is that the camper right there? Wait, you can't see it. Excuse me. This is the property right here, right? And is this the camper right there? Is that it? So this is the camper right there. I'll wait another second because I know you're on a delay. So that is Mark's camper, right? Okay, cool. And then this is the I don't know what you call it, a manufactured home over here that, or you know, a trailer, I guess, that DJ was killed in right there. There's actually images you can see where the police are walking in and out of the steps right there. All right, so let me get that video playing again.
So during this course of 2 years that DJ and Brandy were married, they had their ups and downs. They had, you know, they were both battling some drug problems and issues. When one would want to get help, the other one wouldn't, and vice versa. So anyways, an affair started between the person of interest and Brandy. DJ was aware of it. When she would, you know, they would, like I said, they would come home a couple of weeks. She would find an excuse to leave, to go back up there. She would go back up there. DJ would either go with her or he would be not far behind, trying to win her back over, get her to come back home. And he always did. He always won her back over, and they always got back together. But there was a lot of conflict between DJ and this person of interest. This person of interest was obsessed with Brandy. Brandy and DJ were not allowed to talk to one another. If they did, he got very upset and aggressive and violent. A couple days before DJ was shot, the guy actually pulled the same gun that DJ was shot with on Brandy and DJ because they were talking to one another, trying to work things out. And he forced Brandy into the camper with him. A few days before that, he jumped DJ with a ball bat, and DJ ended up knocking his tooth out with a golf club. A few days before that, DJ got out of the shower, and person of interest held a knife to his throat. So there was a lot of conflict there amongst them. DJ hated this guy. I mean, obviously, if someone's sleeping with your spouse, you're not going to very well be friendly with them. But the day DJ got shot, he started texting my mom about an hour before he was shot and telling her, you know, you got to come get me now. I'm going to end up dead here. It's going to save both our lives, referring to him and Brandy. My mom was sick. She had some heart problems and was having surgery. The day of the shooting, DJ was texting my mom, like I said, and she was unable to go pick him up. DJ was texting other people on social media, you know, begging for a ride out of there, saying he was going to end up dead there. That him and this guy were trying to kill each other. So anyways, the guy calls 911 and reports a suicide. We got a guy here that shot himself. He hung up on 911 3 different times, and 911 had to call him back. And he would end up hanging up on him again. During the 911 call, he was instructed to unload and secure the weapon. It was his weapon. He knew everything about it. Detectives arrived on the scene. The coroner, they took his word. That was the only witness they had. The only witness they thought they had at the time was the person of interest. And at the time, he wasn't a person of interest. It was a suicide. So, in Georgia, if it's a suicide, by law, they have to send them to the state crime lab for a limited autopsy. And that's what was done. DJ was sent to the state crime lab for a limited autopsy with false information by the coroner. The coroner sent DJ down there with the statements by the person of interest and with the statement that the gun was removed out of DJ's hand by the first responding officer, which that is documented in the 911 calls and as well as in the police investigation, which that is not true. The person of interest was told to move the gun, so it wasn't in DJ's hand. A limited autopsy was performed. There was about 7 photos taken of DJ. None of those photos are up close of the wound on DJ. Only a few of them are of DJ himself, you know. Mainly they're a vial of blood, you know, pellets that were removed, recovered. GBI did not investigate this crime. They did not investigate it. They just did the autopsy. The Walker County Sheriff's Department is the one that actually did the investigation. The medical examiner, when she did the autopsy, I mean, it was even noted in the investigation report when the detectives arrived on the scene, the angle of the shot. DJ was right-handed, but he was shot left to right, front to back at a downward angle. DJ was shot like right in this area here. And the exit wounds came out back in here. So he was shot with 24 pellet buckshot, and there was 3 small exit wounds behind his right ear. But anyways, look. So she ruled it on this information suicide based on all this information, which most of it was false. Within a couple of weeks, the Walker County Sheriff's Department were investigating it. They changed it from a suicide investigation to a homicide investigation because the death certificate stated suicide, and that's what the medical examiner's report stated. The DA refuses to present to a grand jury, even though the Walker County Sheriff's Department says it's a homicide. It's never went any further than where it is now. They eventually closed the case and said that in the unlikely event that any other evidence comes to light, that they would reopen the case. There is plenty of evidence there. I'm not sure why they closed the case or why they won't do anything. I've been fighting for the last 4 years to get justice for my brother. I hired a private investigator, and he went and he did all of his own interviews, you know, and conducted his own investigation and everything, and even met with a medical examiner and presented her with all the information that she originally did not have. And she ordered a tox.
He didn't shoot himself 3 times. That didn't happen. They didn't say that either.
Toxicology report, which was kind of a waste of money. We knew drugs would be in DJ's system. DJ and Brittany struggled with a drug addiction. Anyways, my private investigator presented her with all this information, the information she did not know, was not aware of, did not ever have. And she ordered a toxicology report, said it would take 6 to 8 weeks for that to come back. She gave my private investigator a call and basically told him that a stimulant was in DJ's system when he died. And because DJ had a stimulant in his system, she was leaving the cause and manner of death as suicide, because DJ, there was no reason why DJ couldn't have defended himself, because he was on a stimulant. Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I just ask everyone that sees this.
I had to hold the look on your face longer. It was like, I totally could feel exactly what you felt like. And thank you for making this for me a while ago. I think it was a couple of weeks back. But you did really well too, to be honest with you. You didn't inject a lot of, that's how we were talking about it. You didn't inject a lot of, you know, I don't know how to word it, but like your own opinion is just talking about the facts. Other than, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
To do what you can to help.
Let me play that. Let me play that part again. That's good.
There was no reason why DJ couldn't have defended himself, because he was on a stimulant. Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I just ask everyone that sees this to do what you can to help. You know, share a story, share his, case, sign his petition. I just don't want my brother to be forgotten without the justice he deserves. And this isn't a complicated case. This is a case where you don't know who the killer is or who did it or anything like that. The case is solved. It's just they won't do anything to solve the case. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me, and thank you for your help and support.
Yeah. I'm just going to, I want to just put this video out by itself. I could maybe put a picture here and there of what you're talking about, but I think this needs to just be out there all by itself. I think everybody agrees. I think that's a pretty powerful video right there. It wasn't overboard. There's nothing in there that's like, wow, okay, wow, there's an agenda there. It's just real, okay? So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to put this one out, and the one I'm working on, what I need is sort of the intro portion of this next video, because this is the one I want to put out that everybody's got to mass share it every single place that you know of and everything, so that people can just see the absurdity of this entire thing. Okay? It's an embarrassment that you have grown adults that keep sort of passing the buck. They all know they're full of shit, and they keep passing the buck all around. Okay? And I'm going to play this from, I don't know what I need to put in at the beginning, but I really just kind of want like wording, basically maybe just the, October 3rd, 2016, and then it just goes straight into this, all right? Because now you're going to watch this. This is another probably 7 minutes. I want it to be somewhat short, but just boom, 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 boom. Okay, so here we go. Listen to this. It's crazy. Listen, the first guy you're going to see right here, his name is Mark. He's the guy that actually shot DJ. Well, yeah, but I don't want you to share. You can share this one if you feel like it, but I'm talking about when I get done with the video that you see on the screen here. I haven't rendered this one out yet. I'm going to put that on social media, and everybody needs to get it out there, okay? And it's not going to be a monetized video or anything. It's purely for informational purposes, all right? So here we go. This guy right here is the one that, this is Mark. This is the guy that owned the trailer, and not the trailer. What is that called? The camper over there, the one on the right. Let me show you. So apparently he owned this right there, this camper, and the trailer was owned by some guy called Old Man. His name was Old Man. Charlie, I think is his name. Okay. Is there any fish in that pond, by the way? Every time I look at that, I want to cast a worm in a bobber and try to catch a bluegill or something. Anyways, this is where the incident took place, and this is the camper right there that Mark owned. Okay, now the guy that you see in this video right here is Mark, and he himself, the guy that has the most to lose, doesn't even say that DJ shot himself. It's crazy, right? Yeah, who knows what's in that pond, right? All right, here we go. Listen.
I ain't done, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked, and it said boom.
It said boom.
And where is Brandy in all this shit?
She's the one that yanked my arm. She was at the door with like, you know what a quarter door is? Man.
Yeah, he's trying to say, I'm telling him not to do this. And he's holding the gun in his hands. And then he's saying Brandy pulls his arm, and then it fires the gun into DJ. So here's the thing, everybody. Even if DJ had the barrel of the gun, he goes, shoot me, go ahead, and sticks it in his mouth. He didn't pull the trigger. So even on this most self-serving story of them all, it's not suicide, right? Because he just said right there that she came in, pulled his arm, and boom! And, he said that the gun spoke. It said boom, he said. All right, so here, watch that again.
Just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked, and it said boom.
And where is Brandy in all this shit?
She's the one that yanked my arm.
Okay.
She was at the door with like, you know what a quarter door is?
Right, so even just right there, right? Does everybody agree that suicide's already gone as soon as he just said that statement? Does everybody agree with that? Anybody disagree? How about anybody? I would rather talk to somebody if you disagree. As soon as somebody else pulled the guy's arm and the gun went off, it had nothing. He did not kill himself. Okay, so just even that, even the worst case scenario, the one that, the most self-serving story of them all, it's not suicide.
Opened the quarter way. She was out on the porch. She stepped in and she's like, Mark, quit, and grabbed my arm, and it said boom.
Exactly how did he walk out and he
And this right here is Brandy. This is DJ's wife.
stomped in there. He walked out of before he shot DJ. Yeah, he stomped in there, and Fat Boy was behind me. So Fat Boy's seen exactly what I saw.
So he was right behind you.
Yeah, he had to have seen. Had to have. I felt him behind me. I know he did.
Was Mark's finger on the trigger when the gun went off?
Yes.
It was. Did DJ ever touch the gun? And be honest with me, please.
Yes, he had his hand up on it.
From what we've been told, DJ threw his arm up like he was trying to block the gun. Maybe trying to push it out of his
DJ
face or
actually,
something.
he had his hand around the end of the barrel.
Yeah.
Where you knew for a fact Mark did come out of that room with the gun and it cocked.
It would have been good to ask, did he have the barrel in his mouth?
Do you feel like Mark did it on purpose?
Honestly, no.
See, he doesn't feel like he did it on purpose, but at the end he kind of was like, well, maybe he did.
I know he meant to intimidate him, but I really don't think he meant for the gun to go off like it did. I really don't.
Why did Mark bring the gun up there that morning to begin with?
For intimidation.
All locked in the living room.
And you could see DJ.
See, now what he just said moves it into the manslaughter realm, right? Like gross negligence. He brought it in there to intimidate, but not the intent to kill, but then somehow the gun went off anyways and killed him. So now we're way past the accidental part. Even though the gun firing could still be an accident, in this story, it's a way worse crime than the first one, okay? Way worse. Because he's the one that introduced a deadly weapon, cocked the trigger and everything to try to scare the guy, and then boom. Oh, he did say that? Okay, good.
Before I could even say hey or what.
He doesn't say that in any of these interviews, though. That's the thing. He doesn't say it in any of them. He doesn't specifically say he doesn't have the gun in his mouth. Unless you can point to somewhere. If I can get that, that'd be cool.
Or anything. Mark come out from behind DJ, said you goddamn.
Maybe it's in that audio
stupid
file.
motherfucker. I just still can't really remember what Mark said to him.
But he did say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Violently, angrily shot DJ.
Okay.
I don't think Mark intended to shoot DJ. Like I said, he was just trying to scare him into shutting up.
And Mark was in the back room behind DJ. Right, here's DJ in this left seat. Here's the doorway. Alright, there's the doorway to the front. Alright, behind here is a bed right there in front of the doorway. Mark come out of that room in front of the door and that door right there and there, which couldn't have been like 3 feet standing away, and shot DJ.
Okay.
Violently, angrily, like he was just like.
You know, I mean, I have no loyalties to DJ. I have no loyalties to Mark. It's just the truth, and I really don't think Mark meant to shoot him. It just.
But Mark did shoot him. But he just, you don't know if he did it on purpose.
I don't think he had intentions of it. I think he was just trying to scare him into shutting up, and the gun went off.
Mark's finger was on the trigger, correct?
Yes. Very strongly, I don't think it was intentional, you know. But But like you said, why would you bring a loaded gun to?
Yeah, why would you point a loaded gun?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Detective Ellenberg returning your call. How you doing, sir?
Okay, so this is a detective here that thought it should have gone to the grand jury.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm investigating the death of Donald Ficker, DJ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I have your.
I was hard to do. I don't. It sounded like you said like the wrong last name, like Figure instead of Fickey. But
your investigation report.
Okay.
And based on your interviews and based on the autopsy report that I have, and the crime scene photos.
Okay.
And 100%, I do not believe this was a suicide. I'm trying to see what can be done to move this from a suicide to a homicide. So
this right here is the detective, Eric Eccles. I mean, the private investigator. The Alan Ellenberg's the guy that made the call. But the detective is the one that I keep making him say. The private investigator, Eric, is the one that says that right at this moment, I 100% believe it wasn't a suicide. Okay, now it's weird because the detective, Ellenberg, he doesn't seem to realize that a homicide, like he doesn't know what homicide means or something. It's crazy.
So he can get the proper justice.
Well, there's the person that ruled it a suicide is the medical examiner's office. So, you know, the sheriff's office didn't rule that. We can't really. I don't know of any way to change the ruling.
Well, I got a meeting. The ME just called me. I got to call them back. I got a meeting with them. But I just wanted to let you know that I support your findings, and that I by reading your report, I know that you believe that it's not a suicide because you would have never sent it to the DA for indictment. If the DA comes back to you or something like that and say, do you think you have enough evidence to support a homicide, is that something that you would say yes to?
Homicide, no. Manslaughter.
Yeah, well, manslaughter is a homicide. Okay, homicide just means a man caused the death of another human being. Okay, that's what a homicide is. So manslaughter is homicide. Okay.
Homicide, manslaughter. I'm not talking murder. I mean homicide. Homicide is the death. But and would you? And my question is, as the detective on the case, would you hold to that?
Yes, that's why I sent it over to the district attorney's office, you know, for that. But yes,
well, that's why I wanted to talk to you, man. I appreciate that.
So I cut that down dramatically. Now we've got the medical examiner here. I cut some of her stuff out, but I almost feel like I want to play it again. It just sounds so ditzy and stupid, and it just makes me angry when I listen to it.
Hi, Mr. Eccles. My
Yes.
name is Dr. Grandi. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Grandi?
Doing well. I'm glad you remember me.
Yeah, I don't have time.
yes.
Okay, I don't have time to look for it though, Amanda. So I'll have to check it out later. But yeah, thank you for sending it.
So I just wanted to let you know we got the toxicology.
Like, wow, thanks for remembering me. She's so excited.
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Grandi?
Doing well. I'm glad you remember me.
Oh, yes.
So I just wanted to let you know we got the toxicology report back on Mr. Fickey,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed stimulants that were present and not any depressants in his drug, in his blood. And based on that, I am going to stick with the cause and manner of death that are listed in the autopsy report.
Yeah, because that's all that matters, everybody. You know, it didn't matter all the other stuff that was sent. So here's what's real and weird, actually. So the newer medical examiner that I've spoken to, or some other guy that is a medical examiner, I sent him all the same stuff, the videos, everybody talking and saying that it wasn't a suicide. And he goes, well, it's a little bit more complicated. No, it's not more complicated. It's not more complicated. It means that you just don't want to do your job, okay? The reality is it's not a suicide. And listen to her. What a moronic explanation of why something isn't or still is a suicide. Oh, well, he's got a stimulant, so I'm going to stick with it. Well, what about all the other stuff I sent you? Well, you know, God, just...
So to make sure I understand, the toxicology report came back and the drugs that were found doesn't indicate that it was a homicide. You're sticking with suicide?
It shows a stimulant that's present, and based on that information, there's not anything that would appear to have rendered him unable to defend himself.
That's got to be the dumbest logic. I mean, really, is there anybody else out there that goes, well, that kind of makes sense? Is there even a glimpse of anything in there, a minuscule part of that makes sense? No. I mean, imagine if you're standing there and you have a stimulant in your system and a bullet hits you in the face. I guess it's always a suicide at that point because you should have just been able to dodge it.
And it appears that it is most consistent with a suicide still.
Yeah, okay, so you think that the drug is most consistent with a suicide because what? I mean, wouldn't a depressant be more consistent with suicide? You know?
After all the other evidence.
Yes.
Was there a firearm residue test done on Mr. Fickey before he was cremated? Because I didn't see that in your
See, I edited all this to cut down to get it to just the key points.
report.
It is not routinely performed unless it is requested. Let me check through the evidence and see if I don't recall doing one. No, I did not do a firearm gunshot residue collection. It was not requested at the time, and that is not routinely performed.
So we really don't know that he had the shotgun in his hand and fired it if there was no residue.
Well, that gets into the validity of gunshot residue, which I believe you should probably speak to a firearms expert on.
Which I am. So it was a stimulant. What drug was found in there? What was the stimulant?
He had methamphetamine.
And that stimulant having meth in the system, I'm just trying to make sure I understand, would not have prevented him from defending himself.
It's a stimulant, so it would make he would be active.
He would be active.
Yes.
And I'm just asking questions here. So if someone holds a shotgun to your head, he has a stimulant, and he grabs the barrel, wouldn't that be active?
Remember, in this case, it's an intraoral, so the barrel was inside of the mouth with the mouth closed.
So that's what she thinks. But here's the thing: is I don't care if it was in his mouth. All of the other stories, even the guy that had the gun in his hand, okay? So there is, like what Amanda says, there's a little bit of damage on the left side, inner mouth. It's hard to, I don't know. I could see a scenario where Mark puts the gun in his face, he grabs and goes, do it, you idiot, you know, or something. And then I was like, you know. But also you have what's the other guy? Fat Boy saying that the gun wasn't in his mouth. Okay, so you have that. One thing for sure is this is not a suicide. Out of all the things you can choose, it's not.
So he couldn't have been, and I'm just asking, he couldn't have been asleep or anything, and the guy put the gun in his mouth.
Well, and that's why we were checking to see if depressants were present in his system, and they were not.
See, what does that have to do with anything, what you just said right there? Like right there at the end. Okay, that's why if he was sleeping and he was shot. So when people go to sleep, they put depressants. Every one of you that goes to sleep takes a depressant.
Well, and that's why we were checking to see if depressants.
Couldn't have been, and I'm just asking, he couldn't have been asleep or anything, and the guy put the gun in his mouth.
Well, and that's why we were checking to see if depressants were present in his system, and they were not.
I don't even get the logic right there. What is she saying? Does anybody get that? Yeah. Let's see. Man, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, so I'm going to play, there was a new audio clip that I hadn't heard before. It was is it this one? No, see, this is actually Fat Boy being interviewed in jail by the private investigator. And we can hear some of the same stuff. So listen, this is a second interview. I don't know who was first. Was he after you or before you, Amanda? Probably, I would say probably before, right? Yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Good, good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're David Colborn. You go by Fat Boy, right? Correct.
Yeah, it's 2016, Jan. We've gone over it. October 3rd.
Right. Okay, so like I said before,
Alabama.
I'm investigating it on behalf of the family.
Georgia, excuse me.
And I know you were there. I read all of the reports. So just kind of walk me through what happened that day.
I done told, Cotussa County and Amanda, that
I said Georgia.
That went down that day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jesus, man, people just wait around.
Can you just kind of tell me, please?
DJ accidentally got shot. I mean, it's that simple.
Okay, so let me ask you, because I got a list of questions, so I'm just trying to find out. Okay, so when you say he accidentally got shot, where did the gun come from?
I done told investigators all about that.
I know, but they still, I don't know what's happened with that.
See, at the beginning of this, he doesn't want to answer the questions, but then he does.
So I'm trying to do my own independent investigation to help the family.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can tell me, man, I'd appreciate it.
They know Mark brought the gun up there.
So Mark brought the gun.
They know that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Debbie. No idea.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I know it's in rewind. Are you talking about in rewind mode? Or, you can go back and rewind. I know. I said that at the beginning.
You sure that you have Cotussa's?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it should plainly say in there who brought the gun up.
Yeah, I got all of this. And
I still don't know what that means, Debbie. What is okay, this lies? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The gun.
They know that.
Okay, so...
Are you sure that you have Cotussa's?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it should plainly say in there who brought the gun up.
Yeah, I got all of this. And the reason why they hired me is because Cotussa is still saying it's a suicide. And reading the report...
That mean that they wrote an accidental shooting.
No, it's still a suicide. See, and that's why...
Yeah, so even Fat Boy's going, no, I thought they ruled it an accidental shooting. And he goes, no, it's suicide. And then now Fat Boy's confused, like, wow.
I got involved, and that's why the family came and hired me, because I'm trying to say it's not a suicide based on everything that I read in the police reports. So the only person I can talk to by reading your statements, I said, well, let me come talk to you because you seem like the one who's being the most honest about everything.
They know. I mean, they come up here and talked to me last year. Or not last year, but at the beginning, at the beginning of this year, and I told them, that Mark is the one who brought the gun up there, and that the gun was in Mark's hand when it went off.
So Mark brought the gun. Did he point the gun at DJ?
I didn't physically see him point the gun at him. When I come into the room, it was right as the shot went off, and Mark had the gun in his hand.
And Mark had the gun in his hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
But DJ also had a hand on the gun.
But DJ had a hand on the gun. Okay. And I guess what I'm missing is who brought the gun into the picture? Did DJ have the gun sitting next to him and Mark grabbed it?
Mark did. And I told Catoosa County that.
So Mark brought the gun into the room?
Yes.
Okay. And then the gun went off accidentally?
Yeah, there was kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a struggle or whatever, and the gun went off.
Okay.
I don't think Mark meant to shoot DJ. It just happened that the gun was pointed directly at him, which he did point the gun at him.
Mark did point the gun at DJ?
Yes, but
okay.
I don't think he meant to shoot him. I really don't.
So you think he meant to scare him?
Yeah, it was an intimidation.
Okay.
Trying to get him to shut up because him and Brandy wouldn't stop arguing.
Okay.
I'm not saying that DJ deserved to die because he really didn't.
Right.
But Mark didn't mean to shoot him.
Okay. And that's accidental. I get that. But that's the difference between a suicide.
Yeah. See, the last time I talked to Georgia's investigators, they said that they was ruling it an accidental homicide.
An accidental homicide.
That's what he told me, that it was an accidental shooting, that they truly believe it was an accident, and it really was.
Right. So make sure I'm clear. Brandy was his wife.
Yes.
But also Mark used to mess around with her.
Yes.
Okay. So
now Mark and Brandy had stopped that.
They had stopped that.
That was the agreement. That they wasn't messing around anymore, and DJ was actually staying there with Mark and Brandy.
Right.
And I say Mark and Brandy because it was Mark and Brandy more than it was Brandy and DJ when I was around,
Right.
But they was staying with Mark in his camper.
Okay.
And Brandy and DJ was together, so that's not the issue of why DJ got shot.
Okay.
It's because DJ and Brandy had been arguing for days, and everybody was tired of hearing it, and Mark told them, shut up, stop arguing, I'm tired of hearing it, and...
Yeah. See that? So arguing for days, and that's why he brought it out, because he was trying to intimidate him to shut up, and you could see him getting really angry, he cocked the gun and everything, and then boom. How could that possibly be a suicide? And even Mark's story is very similar, except he's tried to throw in the part about, I said don't do it. Well, you're the one that brought the gun, so it wasn't his gun or anything. And everybody knows that you brought the gun and you're the one that introduced it to the scene.
I don't know why he thinks trying to intimidate somebody with a gun, because that's not what they're for, but...
Okay, so let me ask you this. After the gun went off, I read in the report that there was a story concocted to say that was suicide.
It wasn't necessarily a story concocted, it's just... That's what was told, was that, DJ tried to shoot himself, and Mark tried to stop him.
Paradis.
So that's what Mark said.
Well, yeah, and I...
Yeah, it's such an awful... Every time I sort of revisit this, I get just as angry as the other time. It never goes away.
Orange heart, thank you, Gray.
I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate it. It's just sort of like this weird... When I say light at the end of the tunnel, I mean... I don't see ever this little glimmer of, well, if I can kind of visualize it like this... If I can kind of see it like this, I could almost see it as a suicide. I can't. I really can't. I really do not see anything at all. There isn't one shred of information that makes it a suicide. And then one of the officers tried to make it sound like these text messages that I read to the mom were like he was depressed, but no, he was trying to get out. He felt like he was in danger. He was like, oh man, we gotta get out of here. Okay, and they made it sound like he was there was no suicidal tone whatsoever in those text messages. And here's the thing, even if his text messages to his mom had said, man, I feel like I want to kill myself. Even if he'd said that, none of the facts still represent a suicide. That's what the problem with the case is. You can't even sort of wiggle over to suicide. What we have here is a case of people that law enforcement probably don't really care that much about. They just kind of want it to go away. It's not, it's just sort of a nuisance case, and they're just trying, but that's bullshit, okay? Because what sucks the most is the guy named Mark. He's just running around out there when he's the one that actually had his finger on the trigger when it shot him.
I just kind of went along with it because honestly, I was kind of feared for my life.
Right, you were feared for your life. Okay. Now I saw the shotgun. It was a single shot. I mean, it wasn't like a pump. It didn't have 6 to 8 rounds in there.
No.
Okay. So you had to shoot, reload.
I'm not sure. I never touched the gun. I don't know if it was a single shot breakdown or if it was a double barrel.
Okay.
Well, I know it wasn't a double barrel.
No, it wasn't double barrel.
Yeah. But I don't know how many shots it held.
So after, and this is something else I'm kind of fuzzy on. After the shooting, what happened to the gun? Was there any wipe down? Was there any cleaning the gun? Anything like that happen?
No. Not that I'm aware of. It was just thrown on DJ's lap.
Okay. It was just, so the gun after the shot, Mark put the gun on DJ's lap.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, you hear that? So Mark put the gun on DJ's lap. And then listen to this.
He went and washed his hands and called an...
Oh, well, he went and washed his hands. Why would he do that? Boy, I mean, it's weird. He just went and washed his hands. I mean, he was probably, pre-coronavirus, just that concerned with washing his hands all the time. It was amazing. He just sort of, well, I'm going to go wash my hands really quick. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Or could it be that he knew that there'd be gunshot residue on his own hands, and he wanted to make it look like a suicide? But then, even after he washed his hands, he was given an out by the 911 operator when they said, yeah, could you go remove the gun from the scene and make sure it's not loaded and everything? And then he goes and grabs it and does that. So now that freed him up regardless. So he didn't really need to wash his hands. But it's interesting that him washing his hands showed that he was thinking about that prior to getting the lucky reprieve from the 911 operator.
911.
Did he call anybody before he called 911?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. Did he change his clothes or anything?
I think he did change his shirt.
He changed his shirt?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. You know why he changed his shirt?
I think because it had blood and shit on it.
Okay. All right. So he changed the shirt because he had the blood.
It might have. I'm not saying that.
Well, it might have, but you saw him change his shirt.
I'm not even 100 on that, but I think he didn't change his shirt. I think he took his shirt off.
Okay. He took his shirt off.
I believe. I'm not 100% on that, but I think or maybe he put a shirt on after that.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. I'm not 100%. I don't want to, say yes or no on it because I really don't know.
Okay. In your opinion, and what you saw when you were there, you can 100% say it wasn't a suicide.
Yeah. Definitely not suicide.
Definitely not suicide. Okay. All right.
I mean, this is a witness.
It was an accidental shooting.
It was an accidental shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you set to go to trial on the 14th?
The 15th.
The 15th? And you think you're going to bond out? And
well, my lawyer is pushing for a drug program.
Okay.
Which, I mean,
it's not the same case that he's in jail for, though.
I've been sober since April, so the drug program is just bettering myself to get out there, maybe, get a head start on finding jobs and stuff like that.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this. Was it drugs being used that day between anybody?
Oh, yeah, we was all high. We was all getting high.
So before the shooting, everybody was getting high?
Yeah, we all got high there every day.
Okay.
So
that's what I'm saying. So right before the shooting, you still were getting high?
Well, I don't know if it was right before the shooting, but yeah, we had all been getting high, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, that's what I needed to know. I don't know why they told you it was, because they still have it down as a suicide, and that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's too late to process that gun, though, Amanda. It really is. It's, they had him touch it. Any DNA that he'd have on there would be totally explainable. DJ was cremated, it sounds like, so there's no way to ever check his hands again, and he probably wouldn't have been anyways. It's crazy. Hey, thank you, Meredith McKenzie.
No,
and it wasn't.
They come and talked to me and got my last statement, and then one of the investigators called.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, the key to getting this turned around is getting. Well, let's go back over my video again, because that's really the whole point of this. Is I just want to put the intro in and ask if you think it's enough that if people saw that, they'd go, wow. Okay? Thank you, Meredith.
Called my sister, and I told them that they had just ruled it an accidental homicide.
Okay.
That no charges was being filed or anything.
Okay. All right, man.
So is the case closed, or is it still open? Or?
Well, they closed it, but like I said, the family is not settling that is because they told him to.
Yeah, right, Danette. So Mark was actually attempting to kill himself. He just shot the wrong direction. Is that right? Because he was on stimulants too.
It was suicide, and that's why I got involved.
Not enough of anything to say it's not a suicide.
Right. Yeah, but reading everything here and talking to you, I know DJ didn't go get the gun and put it to his face and shoot himself. No. Because it was on the on the left side of his face, DJ's right hand. So if anything, he would have did like this or did like that. Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. All right, man. Stay solid. Okay, appreciate you.
Hey, has anybody talked to Mark?
I don't. The police have.
Because the last I heard, he just took off.
That's what I heard he took off too, so I don't know where he is, where I can find him, but I know the police have talked to him, and he's changed his story like 3 or 4 different times.
And what about Brandy?
She's in jail right now, and I'm trying to get to her next.
All right, well, when you talk to her, will you tell her I love her and I miss her?
I will, man. All right, thanks.
And tell Amanda, I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
Okay.
I love her too.
All right, I'll tell her.
It's weird because Fat Boy seems like like he's somewhat like of a nice person, Every time I've seen him in different interviews and stuff, he seems, he's obviously in jail for reasons, but it seems like mainly like drug reasons. Anyways, let's go back and I'm going to play the whole purpose of this, really. I wanted to give you reset and play Amanda's video, but I want you guys to listen to this again. And it's only 7 minutes long, but do you think this definitely sells, which is real? I'm not like with the magic of editing telling a different story. This is really what was said here. I don't want to put in some of the stuff like he didn't pass the lie detector test, he didn't do this. I just want to put in the hard, just boom, right in your face facts, like what we're hearing right here from the witnesses. Okay? That's really all that matters. And, suicide, not a suicide, but like text messages and all those kind of things like that, they just kind of bog you down with too much stuff. So just watch this one more time, and then we're going to come up with like a title for it.
Say, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like you. And about that time, my arm yanked, and it said boom.
And where is Brandy in all this shit?
She's the one that yanked my arm. She was at the door with like, you know what a quarter door is? Open it quarter way. She was out on the porch. She stepped in, and she's like, Mark, quit, and grabbed my arm, and it said boom.
Exactly how did he walk out and he
stomped in there. He walked out of before he shot DJ. Yeah, he stomped in there, and Fat Boy was behind me. So Fat Boy's seen exactly what I saw.
So he was right behind you.
Yeah, he had to have seen. Had to have. I felt him behind me. I know he did.
Was Mark's finger on the trigger when the gun went off?
Yes.
It was. Did DJ
I mean, look at that. Just cold yes. His finger was on the trigger.
ever touch the gun? And be honest with me, please.
Yes, he had his hand up on it.
From what we've been told, DJ threw his arm up like he was trying to block the gun. Maybe trying to push it out of his
DJ
face or
actually,
something.
he had his hand around the end of the barrel.
Where you knew for a fact Mark did come out of that room with the gun and it cocked.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Mark did it on purpose?
Honestly, no. I know he meant to intimidate him, but I really don't think he meant for the gun to go off like it did. I really don't.
Why did Mark bring the gun up there that morning to begin with?
For intimidation.
I walked into the living room.
And you could see DJ.
Before I could even say hey or what or anything, Mark come out from behind.
Look, I'm trying to get you guys to listen to this, so try to do less of the other kind of conversation for a little bit. I want you to listen to it, and would it convince you if you were somebody listening to it, okay? Okay, so try not to do all the side conversations about other things, just for a couple minutes, all right? I know it's hard, but...
For intimidation.
I walked into the living room.
And you could see DJ.
Before I could even say hey or what or anything, Mark come out from behind DJ and said, you goddamn motherfucker, you stupid motherfucker. I just still can't really remember what Mark said to him.
But he did say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Violently, angrily shot DJ.
Okay.
I don't think Mark intended to shoot DJ. Like I said,
what are you saying, WOPO status? What are you referring to? Are you saying this doesn't do that? Or are you saying, no, you aren't going to do that? Look at every single person in here says the same damn thing over and over again. They're all the witnesses, the living people.
Maybe trying to push it out of his
DJ
face or
actually,
something.
he had his hand
Thanks,
around
Mark.
the end of the barrel.
Where you knew for a fact Mark did come out of that room with the gun and it cocked.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Mark did it on purpose?
Honestly, no. I don't. I know he meant to intimidate.
Thank you, Mark.
Intimidating, but I really don't think he meant for the gun to go off like it did. I really don't.
Why did Mark bring the gun up there that morning to begin with?
For intimidation.
I walked into the living room.
And you could see DJ.
Before I could even say hey or what or anything, Mark come out from behind DJ and said, you goddamn motherfucker, you stupid motherfucker. I just still can't really remember what Mark said to him.
But he did say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Violently, angrily shot DJ.
Okay.
I don't think Mark intended to shoot DJ. Like I said, he was just trying to scare him into shutting up.
And Mark was in the back room behind DJ. Right, here's DJ in this left seat. Here's the doorway. Alright, there's the doorway to the front. Alright, behind here is a bed right there in front of this doorway. Mark come out of that room in front of the door and that door right there and there, which couldn't have been 3 feet standing away, and shot DJ.
Okay.
Violently, angrily, he was just
I have no loyalties to DJ. I have no loyalties to Mark. It's just the truth, and I really don't think Mark meant to shoot him.
But Mark did shoot him. But you don't know if he did it on purpose.
I don't think he had intentions of it. I think he was just trying to scare him into shutting up, and the gun went off.
Mark's finger was on the trigger, correct?
Yes. Very strongly, I don't think it was intentional, but right. But like you said, why would you bring a loaded gun to
Yeah, why would you
intimidate
want
somebody.
a loaded gun?
Hey, this is Detective Ellenberg returning your call.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm investigating the death of Donald Ficker, DJ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I have your investigation report.
Okay.
And based on your interviews and based on the autopsy report that I have, and the crime scene photos.
Okay.
And 100%, I do not believe this was a suicide. I'm trying to see what can be done to move this from a suicide to a homicide so it can get the proper justice.
Well, there's the person that ruled it a suicide is the medical examiner's office. So, you know, the sheriff's office didn't rule that. We can't really. I don't know of any way to change the ruling.
Well, I got a meeting. The ME just called me. I got to call them back. I got a meeting with them. But I just wanted to let you know that I support your findings, and that I by reading your report, I know that you believe that it's not a suicide because you would have never sent it to the DA for indictment. If the DA comes back to you or something like that and say, do you think you have enough evidence to support a homicide? Is that something that you would say yes to?
Homicide, no. Manslaughter.
Homicide, manslaughter. I'm not talking murder. I mean, homicide. Yeah, homicide is the death. But and would you? And my question is, as the detective on the case, would you hold to that?
Yes, that's why I sent it over to the district attorney's office. You know, for that. But yeah.
So you even have the detective saying he would have done that. You know.
That's why I wanted to talk to you, man. I appreciate that.
Hi, Mr. Eccles. My name is Dr. Grandi. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Grandi?
Doing well. I'm glad you remember me.
Oh, yes.
So I just wanted to let you know we got the toxicology report back on Mr. Fickey, and it showed stimulants that were present and not any depressants in his drug, in his blood. And based on that, I am going to stick with the cause and manner of death that are listed in the autopsy report.
So to make sure I understand, the toxicology report came back and the drugs that were found doesn't indicate that it was a homicide. You're sticking with suicide?
It shows a stimulant that's present, and based on that information, there's not anything that would appear to have rendered him unable to defend himself.
Just angry again.
And it appears that it is most consistent with a suicide still.
Even after all the other evidence?
Yes.
Was there a firearm residue test done on Mr. Fickey before he was cremated? Because I didn't see that in your report.
It is not routinely performed unless it is requested. Let me check through the evidence and see if I don't recall doing one.
See, I don't know what she is now, but at the time she was an associate medical examiner. At least that's what the document said.
No, I did not do a firearm gunshot residue collection. It was not requested at the time, and that is not routinely performed.
So we really don't know that he had the shotgun in his hand and fired it if there was no residue.
Well, that gets into the validity of gunshot residue, which I believe you should probably speak to a firearms expert on.
Which I am. So it was a stimulant. What drug was found in there? What was the stimulant?
He had methamphetamine.
And that stimulant having meth in the system, I'm just trying to make sure I understand, would not have prevented him.
Well, the reason is Mandy Beck is it could be total murder, but we don't know. There's no way to prove that he pulled the trigger intentionally to shoot him. Okay, so manslaughter is probably the best bet. Okay, it would be really hard to sell to a jury first-degree murder, especially since Fat Boy doesn't think it was intentional. Brandy does, but you can see her having a little bit bias in the other direction. Fat Boy is probably the best overall witness. Okay, although he has some fear that it'll come back to him. So who knows, man? All I'm saying is it's not a murder. I mean, it's not a suicide, and it's definitely in the manslaughter realm, too, because Mark is the one who introduced a loaded shotgun to the scene for intimidation purposes, and it fired and killed DJ. Okay? That's it. So what you have there is, manslaughter, reckless endangerment, just really, willful disregard type of, it's really shitty stuff. Okay, especially, it seems like the trigger must have been cocked, too. And his finger was on the trigger. I mean, if you were just intimidating somebody, wouldn't you just kind of have your hand around it, not like getting ready to literally fire the damn thing?
From defending himself.
It's a stimulant, so it would make he would be active.
He would be active.
Yes.
And I'm just asking questions here. So if someone holds a shotgun to your head, he has a stimulant, and he grabs the barrel, wouldn't that be active?
Remember, in this case, it's an intraoral, so the barrel was inside of the mouth with the mouth closed.
So he couldn't have been, and I'm just asking, he couldn't have been asleep or anything, and the guy put the gun in his mouth.
Well, and that's why we were checking to see if depressants were present.
Yeah, because every time you go to sleep, everybody, you all take depressants. So, that's just fantastic logic right there. Yeah, we were checking for depressants for the, in case he was shot while sleeping. So we were checking for depressants. What does that even mean?
His system, and they were not.
Yeah. Anyways, so just listening to that, is that something that you think if it was shared around that enough people would be like, wow, that's crazy? Or do I need to get rid of some of it? Some of it you have to leave in just so that people know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, so it's only going to be, now let's put in the title, okay? So I just want to have like a quick title on here, and I guess that's where we're at right now. All right, so what are we putting in? I'm going to put down the homicide, right? How about the homicide of, or maybe like this. Maybe I should put his full name in there. And put like quotes around. Hold on, let me. Just a second. Donald Edward Fickey Jr. Okay. Donald. Maybe like that. Or what do you think, Amanda? Does everybody know him by his just DJ Fickey? It seems like I could just do that. What do you think? I'll let you say that. How about the homicide of DJ Fickey? Suicide or homicide? I'd almost feel bad not putting what is obvious, but I see what you're saying. I don't know if she's still around, Amanda. Yeah. Should I just put DJ in there then? You guys must be a mile behind right now. Okay, but what name would you put Amanda? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just put, do this. Everybody knows who he is, okay? This name everybody recognizes. Okay, the homicide DJ Fickey. Or we could say the non-suicide. Why did... Okay. Yeah, let me read some of your comments here. Need something playing in the background. Yeah, let me do that one. Hold on. I think that's it. And then we have a second slide that says maybe a second slide that says, why did the medical examiner rule this as suicide? Because that's really it to me. Yeah. I'm actually going to name her. What's her, let's see, let's get her name again. Yeah, I did. What now? That's what I was doing. Thank you. Jesus. Let me just do stuff on my own. I don't need to... Okay, let's see. I mean, some of that stuff, like real basic information, I know how to do it. Okay, so if we did it like that... But thanks for the help, though. I appreciate it. What now? What now? Yeah, I'm gonna make that these like a little shorter. Maybe that one's a little longer. Okay, and then oh, I don't have the loop on. Some of you guys are really quick on the trigger. Like if somebody goes, hey, what state was it? And I say Alabama. No, I mean Georgia. About 6 of you type in Georgia. I mean, what are you guys doing with your fingers? Like you're just going, okay, and you just quickly type it in. It's amazing. I mean, I fixed it within 1 second, but you've typed it in already. It's amazing. The speed at which you guys are able to do that. Well, they have it before her name, so I'll just leave it the way it is, Alicia. Thank you. Let's see. Voice to text. You guys are freaks. Why did the medical examiner, MD Natasha Grant, rule this?
Say, please, just give me the goddamn gun.
Wow, that's too quick. I gotta get that. I might add a little bit more of what he was saying, too.
Hand. And I'm like, DJ, please. Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the...
Ah, shit.
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn...
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Well, one of you typed it in so fast. What happened to what's now? Or not, you know. She disappeared. She probably thought I was mad. I'm never mad at anybody. I'm trying to cut through the stuff. Alright. So let's see the timing on here. The death of... I probably have to put his picture on there. Why did the medical examiner, MD Natasha Grande, rule this a suicide?
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked.
And it said boom. Yeah, it's weird how Mark thinks a gun can talk. Yeah, that's what I think. Hey, I was joking around. What now, I mean. Come on. Jesus. Here, let me try to maybe see what this does here. Hold on.
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ. Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like
Yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff out there. There's one with his kids that I put on the thumbnail. I wonder if that would be a good one. Come on. I like just the one that I was using is a pretty good one. The one that's in the frame there. What are you talking about, Jennifer? Did you just kind of just show up and start just randomly asking questions without actually trying to figure out what's going on? Wow. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's not a good picture for the shape. Okay, then how come you're so confused? Doesn't even say if it was in his mouth. Yeah, he doesn't say that either. I think it could be, here's what could have happened, is that at the last second, Mark jams the gun into his mouth and pulls the trigger. Hey, thanks, Mandy. Like right on the edge of his mouth and just boom, just pulls the trigger. Yeah, maybe I can make this a little smaller or something and fit that in. Hold on. Maybe this doesn't need to be... God. Yeah, I keep thinking I'm using a different program. There you go, how about that one right, just that right there. Oh wait, I gotta put his picture there the whole time. Hold on. What happened?
Trying to move my hand.
Oh, wait, there was two different... Oh wait, the second one, shoot. Okay, maybe I'll just have him up there first and then it cuts over like that. Hope you guys aren't too bored, but That's what I'm doing. What do you think of that? What about that right there?
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked.
And then, maybe, what do you think at the end? Maybe something like a message to whoever can make a difference. Something like, please do the right thing. What do you think should be at the end here? Wow, how'd you guys talk about dating and stuff? Trying to get this figured out. So what do you think we should put at the end? No, that's not what I didn't say. Did you hear what I said? I need something like a message to somebody. Yeah. Yeah, so, well. What I want this video, I want it to get into the right hands. Meaning, somebody that actually, in the GBI, needs to watch it. That's the deal. There's a lot of people that probably aren't even aware of the case. Kind of like that medical examiner guy that I talked to. He was like, wow, yeah, I'm really interested to see this. And then all of a sudden, he's like, well, there's more details. I just, no, it doesn't, you know. He had no extra information. I'm not sure what that means, K.A. Lamb. Man, people need to really, if they're going to try to be comedians, they should work on the timing. Well, the medical examiner, for one, absolute, just ludicrous. It's unbelievable. Yeah, maybe that's a good way to end it. Maybe, yeah, like a short synopsis type of thing. Let's see. Detective. Is it worth mentioning that detective at all? His name, or? Alan Ellenberg. My brain isn't working. 3 witnesses at the scene. All. Let's see. Man, I keep forgetting to hit the capital on every freaking word. It's actually different than suicide is what I meant. If you guys were typing that in, right? Three witnesses at the scene all described scenarios different than suicide. And let's see, which aligns with detective. Oh, hold on, there's his name right there. The three witnesses at the scene all described scenarios different than suicide. Which aligns with, I don't know. What do you think? Can you guys come up with better wording than that? English was never my forte. Okay. Math and graphics. I guess I could put their actual names. I don't know what that means. No, contrary. Are contrary to suicide. Is that what you're saying? I like that one. I'd said that. I had other than suicide. Yeah. Oh yeah, inconsistence. A better, more of a legal term. I like that one. Three witnesses at the scene. Yeah, that's true. That's what I should. Yeah, you don't need to say the three witnesses. What was that last one? Evidence and testimony. I like that one. Good one, Gene. Is that the right word? R, right? God, no. Evidence and testimony are, or is it, let's see, evidence and testimony. What did you have up there? Contradicts. Yeah, maybe something like what Lily Mel said, but then combine that with what, like, in alignment with Detective Ellenberg, all evidence and testimony are inconsistent with suicide. How about that? In alignment with Detective, all three. Wait, now lost it. God dang it. Ah, man. Things are going by too quick. Can't see it. How about that, right there? In alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence and testimony are inconsistent with suicide. That's about as simple as you can get right there. Alright? And then, what's the call to action going to be? Wow, man, I'm using jargon now. Dun, dun. Not sure. Are you guys still typing? Oh, wait, I lost everything that you guys were saying. Let's see. Oh, with an E at the end? Okay. Okay. Other than that, okay, then the next one would be, what are we trying to get? Please, everybody share this, you know, something like that, so that the, let's see. Someone knows the truth and can bring, well, these people do know the truth. That's not what it is. What we want is for it just to be changed out, away from suicide. Oh yeah, please share and spread so that DJ can get justice. Something like that, right? Okay, let's see. Please share let's see. What was it again? Share and please share this with yeah, please share. I like that one. Please share to bring justice for DJ Fickey. Hashtag, what is it? What's the hashtag? Justice for DJ? Like justice, is it like this? Is that right? Or is there, type it in there so I can see it. Oh, okay, 4, all right. Wait, what? So it is the number 4? Okay, we need Amanda. What's the hashtag, Amanda? That's true. You want the... I'm not sure. What would we change to? What? Anything else? I mean, the manner of death needs to be changed from suicide. The manner of death needs to be. Let's see. Yeah, so it is 4, not the number 4. Okay. Manner of death needs to be something other. Let's see. I don't get it. Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. Manner of death needs to be... Yeah, I don't think it just needs to be re-examined. It just needs to be quickly switched. You know, examining it gives them their little wiggle room crap that they do all the time. Share to get the manner... That's what I put originally, Michelle, but... Manner of death needs to be... I'll just think about it for a second. Yeah, I guess just leave it at that, right? Why not that? Yeah. Yeah, so we got that over there. Detective Ellenberg. The evidence and testimony are inconsistent. Did I spell testimony wrong? Yeah, you think it should be reclassified? Okay. I don't know. I think your testimony, like people say, I don't know about that, because I've heard it say, "Hey, there was The testimony of the witnesses today. Nobody says the testimonies unless they're just all wrong. You think it's supposed to be testimonies? You sure about that? Alicia Supertramp. She's going nuts. In alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence and testimonies. I don't know. That doesn't... I don't agree with you, Gene. Okay, good. If you were a major, I would have agreed, Gene, but you're just a minor, so... Yeah, it says R, Randy. It says R right there. What do you mean it should remain R? Nobody said that they were going to change it. Are there any errors in this paragraph that you're looking at right now? Yeah, we'll still want it to be testimonies. Right, but just don't then tag him if you're correcting somebody, okay? Because when you just type randomly, nobody's reading your comment, okay? You got to tag them when you know, or tag me if you're trying to tell me something. I don't know, man. Testimonies just doesn't sound right to me at all. The evidence and testimonies? No, there you go. Maybe you should have, Gene. You should have. Yeah, just tag somebody, Randy, because when you're just typing in, I don't know who you're talking to. I'm trying to read comments so I can figure out what we're doing here. You think evidence and testimony, it sounds awkward? Sounds awkward, leave it. What does that even mean? God. Yeah, testimonies. Oh yeah, testimonies does, right. God, my headsets are like pinching my ears. Oh man, that hurts. It's taking so long just to get the simple paragraph in here. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. And here's the thing, if there's anybody out there that really wants to go, oh my God, I told him it was testimonies, but it is, well then you're sort of missing the whole point, you know. Well, evidence is plural, though, right? Evidence and testimony. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, watch this. The noun testimony can be countable or uncountable. In more general, commonly used contexts, the plural form will also be testimony. Okay? Did you see that right there? Look at it. I'm looking at it right now. However, in more specific contexts, the plural form can also be testimonies. So it's just an also. Okay? I've always thought like testimony to me it can be plural. So I'm going to stick with it. All right? So I think I've never even heard testimonies ever used. It sounds really weird, actually. Okay, so in alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence and testimony are, and are would be there because I'm using testimony as plural here, okay? What do you mean you feel validated, Gene? Oh, you mean with the word that it can also be used as testimonies? Okay, great. Nah, I don't like that one, Wombat, because you left out the evidence part. Although maybe we should leave out evidence here. So let's see. What is he saying again? Let me look at that. You don't have to feel that way, Juju. I just wanted to look it up for myself because I was confused. Detective Ellenberg's conclusion. Maybe I do like that one. Let's see. Detective Ellenberg's conclusions and testimony. Well, he didn't testify, though. In alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence and testimony are... I like just... Let's just leave it the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, it does sound weird. I've never seen the word testimonies ever used. Now, it was a long day of testimony. You know, a whole bunch of people testified, and no, he actually said it out loud in an interview that's in the video itself. So I think it's good just the way it is. In alignment with Detective Ellenberg, you'll hear what he said. The evidence and testimony are, let's see. Yeah, the problem is I almost kind of want to leave the word evidence out of it. Because, I mean, we didn't really produce, like, the physical evidence or anything in this video. It's really just every single witness said. The evidence and testimony are in. Yeah, let's just leave it there. I think they kind of get it. Evidence. Well, here's the thing. Testimony by a witness is evidence, right? So, some of the stuff they were saying. Yeah, in alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence. I kind of like witness state. Yeah, you're right, because it's not really like they're not testifying somewhere. Let's. Now we're switching this out. Here we go. I like that one. Witness statements. Yeah, I think that makes more sense, because those are actually that is what that is. Okay. There was no testimony, there was no judge or anything like that. In alignment with Detective Ellenberg, the evidence and witness statements are inconsistent with suicide. Okay, good. There we go. All right. Everybody happy with that one? Okay, then right after that would be the manner of death needs to be changed, reclassified. Reclassified. Okay. The manner of death needs to be reclassified. Hey, thanks, Fuzzy Navel. Okay. we've got that. And then at the end, please share to bring justice for DJ Fickey. And then what's the contact information we need to put in here? I'll actually put that further down. No, I've already got that. I'm looking for the contact information. Hey Amanda, are you still out there? I know it's probably late where you live, but do you have particular contact information that? Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is I don't think they need to be calling some, group or something. It seems like it just needs to be shared enough where it puts pressure on the people that make decisions over there. I don't think that's confusing, though. It might be to you, Alicia, but... Well, how about this? Reclassified away from suicide. How about that? I don't know if away is right, but... Reclassified. I almost want to put to something other than suicide. Okay. Well, I already have from in there. I can get rid of away. I already had from. It's funny when people don't get a reply to something they say and then they wonder if people see them. But it could be that everybody was focused in on something else. Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, reclassified to homicide. Because no matter what, it is a homicide. I don't care that the detective is one of the only people in the world that didn't realize that manslaughter is homicide. There you go. Okay, so please share to bring justice for DJ Fickey. And boom. Okay, so basically I think that might be just it right there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make that a little bit bigger. And then get rid of... Put another one out there. Somebody's already typing in, Gray, you left up a hashtag. Gray, you left up a... I guess it does the whole damn thing. Jeez. Yeah. Let's leave it like that. Will do, sass mare.
And that's why we were checking to see if depressants were present in his system, and they were not.
I almost think that should go there. Alright. Right after she says that? Forget it. It's good where it was. That way, we already can. She just spoke. So.
In his system, and they were not.
Okay, how about that right there? All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just let it play one time all the way through, and let me just make sure that this is. I'm gonna fade him out here at. No, that was already in there. I'm just going to move it over slightly. There we go. Okay, so when you guys are watching this, I'm going to go use the facilities and come back. But when you're watching it one last time, check for anything else that you might think is wrong, and we can try adding it in there. But I'm just going to play it one time here, and then what I'm going to do is, I mean, maybe I can even do it while I'm still doing the show. I can export it and load it up onto YouTube and then give out the link to everybody while we're still sitting here. I think you can do that. I'm not sure if you can do that while you're doing a live, but we can always try to experiment. So here goes.
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked, and it said, boom.
And where is Brandy and all this shit?
She's the one that yanked my arm. She was at the door with like, you know what a quarter door is? Open it quarter way. She was out on the porch. She stepped in, and she's like, Mark, quit. And grabbed my arm, and it said, boom.
I mean, exactly how did he walk out and he
stomped in there. He walked out of before he shot DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stomped in there, and Fat Boy was behind me. So Fat Boy's seen exactly what I saw.
So he was right behind you.
Yeah, he had to have seen. Had to have. I felt him behind me. I know he did.
Was Mark's finger on the trigger when the gun went off?
Yes.
It was. Did DJ ever touch the gun? And be honest with me, please.
Yes, he had his hand up on it.
From what we've been told, DJ threw his arm up like he was trying to block the gun. Maybe trying to push it out of his
DJ
face or
actually,
something.
he had his hand around the end of the barrel.
Where you knew for a fact Mark did come out of that room with the gun and it cocked.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Mark did it on purpose?
Honestly, no. I know he meant to intimidate him, but I really don't think he meant for the gun to go off like it did. I really don't.
Why did Mark bring the gun up there that morning to begin with?
For intimidation.
I walked into the living room.
And you could see DJ.
Before I could even say hey or what or anything, Mark come out from behind DJ and said, you goddamn motherfucker, you stupid motherfucker. I just still can't really remember what Mark said to him.
But he did say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Violently, angrily shot DJ.
Okay.
I don't think Mark intended to shoot DJ. Like I said, he was just trying to scare him into shutting up.
And Mark was in the back room behind DJ. Right, here's DJ in this left seat. Here's the doorway. Alright, there's the doorway to the front. Alright, behind here is a bed right there in front of this doorway. Mark come out of that room in front of the door and that door right there and there, which couldn't have been 3 feet standing away, and shot DJ.
Okay.
Violently, angrily, he was just
You know, I mean, I have no no loyalties to DJ. I have no loyalties to Mark. It's just the truth, and I really don't think Mark meant to shoot him.
But Mark
it was
did shoot him. But he just, you don't
Yes.
know if he did it on purpose.
I don't think he had intentions of it. I think he was just
But
trying to scare him into shutting up, and the
But
gun went off. But-
Mark's finger was on the trigger, correct?
Yes, I very strongly. I don't think it was intentional, But
Right.
why? But like you said, why would you bring a loaded gun to?
Yeah, why would you
intimidate
point a
somebody?
loaded gun?
Hey, this is Detective Ellenberg returning your call.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm investigating the death of Donald Ficker, DJ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I have your investigation report.
Okay.
And based on your interviews and based on the autopsy report that I have, and the crime scene photos.
Okay.
And 100%, I do not believe this was a suicide. I'm trying to see what can be done to move this from a suicide to a homicide so I can get the proper justice.
Well, there's the person that ruled it a suicide is the medical examiner's office. So, the sheriff's office didn't rule that. We can't really. I don't know of any way to change the ruling.
Well, I got a meeting.
Call.
The ME just called me. I got to call them back. I got a meeting with them. But I just wanted to let you know that I support your findings, and that I by reading your report, I know that you believe that it's not a suicide because you would have never sent it to the DA for indictment. If the DA comes back to you or something like that and say, do you think you had enough evidence to support a homicide? Is that something that you would say yes to?
Homicide, no. Manslaughter.
Homicide, manslaughter. I'm not talking murder. I mean, homicide.
Okay.
Homicide is the death. But and would you? And my question is, as the detective on the case, would you hold to that?
Yes, that's why I sent it over to the district attorney's office. For that. But yes,
well, that's why I wanted to talk to you, man. I appreciate that.
Hi, Mr. Eccles. My name is Dr. Grandi. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Grandi?
Doing well. I'm glad you remember me.
Oh, yes.
So I just wanted to let you know we got the toxicology report back on Mr. Fickey, and it showed stimulants that were present and not any depressants in his drug, in his blood. And based on that, I am going to stick with the cause and manner of death that are listed in the autopsy report.
So to make sure I understand, the toxicology report came back and the drugs that were found doesn't indicate that it was a homicide. You're sticking with suicide?
It shows a stimulant that's present, and based on that information, there's not anything that would appear to have rendered him unable to defend himself, and it appears that it is most consistent with a suicide still.
Even after all the other evidence?
Yes.
Was there a firearm residue test done on Mr. Fickey before he was cremated? Because I didn't see that in your report.
It is not routinely performed unless it is requested. Let me check through the evidence and see if I don't recall doing one. Let's see. No, I did not do a firearm gunshot residue collection. It was not requested at the time, and that is not routinely performed.
So we really don't know that he had the shotgun in his hand and fired it if there was no residue.
Well, that gets into the validity of gunshot residue, which I believe you should probably speak to a firearms expert on.
Which I am. So it was a stimulant. What drug was found in there? What was the stimulant?
He had methamphetamine.
And that stimulant having meth in the system, I'm just trying to make sure I understand, would not have prevented him from defending himself.
It's a stimulant, so it would make he would be active.
He would be active.
Yes.
And I'm just asking questions here. So if someone holds a shotgun to your head, he has a stimulant and he grabs the barrel, wouldn't that be active?
Remember, in this case, it's an intraoral, so the barrel was inside of the mouth with the mouth closed.
So he couldn't have been, and I'm just asking, he couldn't have been asleep or anything, and the guy put the gun in his mouth.
Well, and that's why we were checking to see if depressants were present in his system, and they were not.
All right, what do you guys think of that? Does that work? Because, I mean, I think that's it, man. All the other stuff kind of gives you outs, you know. Some of the other stuff you could talk about, like, you know, oh, he didn't pass the polygraph test. Yeah, that stuff doesn't matter to anybody. This stuff here is all straight from even the shooter's mouth. It wasn't a suicide. Okay. Let me, what is it? Opacity there. I'm just going to fade it out at the end to black. Yeah. You know what's great, this medical examiner? You know what she did? She gave killers an out. You know, you could actually get like a... You know, a killer goes to a house with 5 people in it, and all he has to do is give them all stimulants first, and then he can shoot them all, and then say, no, they committed suicide because they had stimulants. They had the ability to defend themselves, but now it's suicide. What an idiot. In Georgia, anyways. Okay. Let me export this out. Let's see. Shit. What is this called? Should we just call it justice? I mean, if I typed in justice and then space FOR DJ Fickey, I think that's kind of like what the video title should be, maybe. Okay. Alright, there it goes. It's making the video right now. I just scream silently so you don't scare your dog. Oh, you guys must be way behind. Are you guys doing the rewind mode? Fiber Sleuth and Martina? Okay, what do you guys think of this as just using this right here as the video thumbnail? Does that work, or should it say something else on the thumbnail? I think that might just be, you know, because you're just sharing it around. But maybe it should be something more hard-hitting, like a cold injustice, something like that. I think I'm gonna put something like that. I don't want to have, and this could be on here, but smaller, like 50. You know, put that down in the below, like right there, and then at the top is where you put in something like a cold injustice. Where the hell's the toolbar though? It's probably hiding somewhere. Huh. Where the hell is it? Okay, just a second. Alright. So I think that's done. Oh, there. Way over here on the side. That's crazy. Okay, there. A cold injustice. That way people would be like, whoa, what's going on? And they'll want to see it more. Hold on. No, something like that. A cold injustice. Hey, thank you, Claudia Neubauer. I know, this pisses everybody off. If you just watch it for 5 minutes, you're pissed off. You know, that's just reality. I hate shit that's not fair like that. Can't stand it. Hey, thank you, Foxtrot. Got our... Alright, so what do you think of that right there? Does that look pretty cool? Just for something to... as the thumbnail? Let me hit save on that. I like it. Okay, there we go. And that's out there. Here, I'll just do it off to the side so you're not staring at. Upload video. Justice for DJ Fickey. There you go. So I'm doing this live so that you guys can all get the link here in a minute and share it. The title of the video will say, Justice for DJ Fickey, a cold injustice. Okay? That's what the YouTube title is. It's not in the thumbnail, but you saw it. And there's not really a source here, so. Okay, now I'm not going to monetize it. Okay. It's just going to be a video to share. I think it'd be lame to have ads pop up on something you're trying to get the word out on. Nobody wants to wade through an ad, you know. For the purpose of this video. The rest of them, you know. Let's see. I'm going to do public. Okay, hashtag justice for DJ. And then DJ Fickey was killed on October 3rd, 2016. The manner of death was ruled to be a suicide incorrectly. Even with all witnesses describing the shooting. Let's see. I'm going to do this part on my own. Let's see. The manner of death was ruled a suicide. Was ruled suicide. Describing the shooting as something other than a suicide, the medical examiner chose to ignore all relevant, ignore seemingly all relevant information. Let's ignore seemingly all the contradictory evidence pointing to a homicide. The manner of death was ruled a suicide, even with all witnesses describing the shooting as something other than a suicide. Let's see, as a suicide. Even with, although all witnesses described the shooting as something other than a suicide, the medical examiner chose to ignore seemingly all the contradictory evidence which pointed to a homicide. Evidence pointing to a homicide. Anyways, you get the message. Okay, one last time. Here it is. DJ Fickey was killed on October 3rd, 2016. The manner of death was ruled a suicide. Although all witnesses described the shooting as something other than a suicide, the medical examiner chose to ignore seemingly all contradictory evidence pointing to a homicide. Well, maybe I could word that better. Let's see. Shooting as something other than a suicide. The medical examiner ignored key information I mean, I almost want to point out how the medical examiner citing meth use as the sole reason for suicide. I mean, it's just so dumb. Yeah. The medical examiner ignored. Let's see. Stated that because Mark or DJ had a stimulant in his system, the fact that Mark pulled the trigger doesn't matter. How do you like that? How do you like that one? Here, check it out. Yeah, listen to this one. The manner of death was ruled a suicide, although all witnesses described the shooting as something other than a suicide. The medical examiner stated that because DJ had a stimulant in his system, the fact that Mark pulled the trigger didn't matter. I like that one. Okay. Pulled the trigger, didn't matter. I think that's a pretty good one right there. Alright, so this is it. This is what I got. Okay, well, I'll read it one more time. It says, this is what the description is. DJ Fickey was killed on October 3rd, 2016. The manner of death was ruled a suicide. Although all witnesses described the shooting as something other than a suicide, the medical examiner, I should probably say inexplicably, stated that because DJ had a stimulant in his system, it was a homicide, no, suicide. Forget it. I'll just say what I had. Although all witnesses described the shooting as something other than a suicide, the medical examiner stated that because DJ had a stimulant in his system, the fact that Mark pulled the trigger didn't matter. Because she was shown that video. So what do you think? Is that good? All right, cool. All right. Now, where do you change the thumbnail? They don't let you do that on the... it's weird how they don't let you do it. Let's see. Justice for DJ. Oh, cool, it's in there. Hashtag justice. Okay. All right, it's publishing. Okay, I just tweeted it, by the way. It just got tweeted. Oh, right now her face is on there, the medical examiner. Oh, Jesus. Poor her. Oh, there it is. Okay, finally I can change it. Okay. I think it's out there. Let's see. There it is on the screen. And here is the... And I'm putting it in the video, okay? So there you go, everybody. Everybody go grab that link and go share it out there somewhere.
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it. And about that time, my arm yanked. And it said, boom.
The cold injustice.
And where is Brandy in all this shit?
She's the one that yanked my arm. She was at the door, was like, you know what a quarter door is? Open the quarter way. She was out on the porch. She stepped in, and she's like, Mark, quit, and grabbed my arm, and it said, boom.
I mean, exactly.
Okay, well, there it is, everybody. Make sure you go out and share it 1,000,000 times to everybody. Like, even if you do it tomorrow, go put it on different, everywhere. Send it to people that work at, you know, the GBI even. Just send it out, okay? That's the way to do it. Like, every one of you has to go, okay, I'm doing it. You know, send it to like 10 different, you know, find different medical examiners and so forth. Send it to the sheriff, send it to this, send it to everybody you know in the GBI. That's the key. You know, sending it all around the internet and stuff, it works because in a little bit, but sending it right to the people who, when they see it, they might go, wow, okay. Whew. Thanks, Susanna. Yeah, I feel like I want to try to call that same medical examiner again. All right, everybody. Thank you for sharing it. Excellent. But, like, share it on everywhere. Facebook. I mean, if it outrages you as much as it does me, and, you know, poor Amanda has had to deal with the same bullshit for years, over and over and over again. And, you know, yes, she gets, she's very upset about it and emotional about it. And, you know, she probably says stuff that, you know, they don't like, but they deserve the things that she says that they don't like. Okay, the crazy thing is all the negative things that she says, they deserve those things. Because it's ludicrous what's going on in this case. You know, when I first saw it, what was weird is 5 minutes in, I was already saying, well, it's not a suicide. I mean, look, the guy that pulled the trigger even said so. As a matter of fact, he blamed it on DJ's wife by pulling Mark's arm back. It actually set the trigger off. The guy that had the most to lose even said that. Yeah, well, you know, it's not a worldwide thing. We need the Georgia Bureau of Investigation people in Georgia in that area, the sheriff, the police, everybody to look at it. Now, is that another one? 88 there? What are those other things that you're putting in there? What's the main hashtag? Oh, that's an @ sign. Okay, that's the... I can add that to the video, I think. Wow, it's already... well, let's see. No, we got 218 watching this one.
Exactly how did he walk out?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna... You mind if I post that recording you made for me, Amanda, the way I edited it? I hope you didn't mind. I think it said exactly what you were saying. I just sort of got to the meat and bones of everything. But I don't know, Amanda, the medical examiner, remember your private investigator sent her all of those videos and everything, and it's almost as if she didn't watch it. All she cared about was that there was a stimulant and therefore it's suicide. Almost like a robot who had something programmed incorrectly into their system, and they're like, stimulant equals suicide. You know, it's just ridiculous. All right, cool. Yeah, that's not really that great, even 45, but yeah, we just got to get it shared. Maybe keep it, and then in the morning put it out on some of your true crime Facebook or wherever the hell you go. Awesome. Well, I hope it makes a difference. Okay, but I think this is the first time you have this like really quick sort of bang, bang, bang. It's only 7-8 minutes long total. It's got every single witness saying it, a detective saying it, and the medical examiner being an idiot. Okay, so it's got everything that you need if the right person sees it. You should send it on to whoever the new medical examiner is, apparently. And let them know the next video will be about them when they don't fix it. Oh yeah. You must be way behind, Amanda. Yeah. You must have hit the pause. That's like 3 minutes behind there. Everybody should refresh their YouTube really quick. Just refresh it, and boom, you'll be caught up to current time. Except you won't hear it until I say that in 2 minutes. Yeah, well, it's kind of late to post a video on a Sunday night, but I thought I'd better do it now while everybody's here and they have access to the link. Hey, is Trace Elements around? I gotta play my new rap again, because I finally got it to work, all timing. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Maybe I could just say, you know, please share with you know, law enforcement or what town is that located in? We're on such a delay, it takes 10 minutes. Yeah, I was going to say GBI in there. Georgia. Yeah, that might be a good place to tweet it. Why don't you all tweet it out to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation? They must have a Twitter account, wouldn't you think? Yeah, maybe and the Attorney General too. And the Georgia Attorney General. Thanks, Miss Giss.
Awesome show, Gray. You always do a great job. Your hard work is always appreciated, Growing Heart.
Well, thank you very much. I do work hard. I really do. It's not like some, you know. God, yeah. They must have a Twitter page, you'd think, right? The Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Man, they'd probably love to get 1,000 tweets. Yeah, isn't it bizarre that the medical examiner gets all this information with interviews and everything, and then did a toxicology report, and then because of that, just sticks with the findings. As if that means a damn thing. It doesn't mean anything. The toxicology report's irrelevant, really. It's almost just sort of an out, because they knew he was going to have a stimulant. And I think it's weird, too, right? Wouldn't you think a depressant would make you commit suicide? A stimulant, you'd be like, yeah, you know, kind of pumped up. And hey, it's Sarah Beth Colegrass. Yeah, but the coroner isn't the same as a medical examiner, right? In your state? Yeah, who knows what she is? Right. Stimulants are bad, therefore it's a suicide. The logic there is absolutely mind-boggling. Is that it right there? The Federal... is the Federal Bureau of Georgia. Okay. Cool. I'll put that in there too. Alright. So I changed, I added some to the description there. Awesome. Yeah, it took a while to make that because I had to go watch all the interviews to get to the, you know, find the right spots. I thought of adding some of the detective, I mean, not the PI's interview with Fat Boy, but it's kind of it's just redundant a little bit. Okay, you're caught up now? Good. Yeah, you were like 6 minutes behind or something. See, I knew that would be funny. Because I even said, hey, but you won't even hear this until... Alright. Well, I don't really have much more to do tonight. But I hope you guys found that interesting. At least we went back over the case again, and I mean, there's, you know, of course there's more detail, but the whole main purpose of tonight's show was to finish the video, get some suggestions on it, and publish it, distribute the link, and get it out there. Yeah, no problem, Amanda, no problem. I've been wanting to do it for so long. You know, it's weird because I was on a roll, and then it took you a while to get back your thing, and then I sort of moved on to other things, and it's hard to get off the roll of that one. Then I came back to today. I just said I'm gonna do it, and then boom. Only took a few more hours, but I think it just blows what Amanda's had to go through, to be honest with you. I understand her frustration, too. Because I've actually dealt with the same thing. I mean, when we first did a show on this, I got a hold of the medical examiner, a different one. I don't know who he was, but I mean, I have his name and everything. I don't know how he's associated with all this, but you know, I talked to him. He goes, God, I'm really interested in that. Would you send me the information? I sent him stuff. He watched it. He seemed like he was interested. Then he had to look at some things. Then he called me back, and then he seemed at that point that he was a little bit nervous about something. Didn't want to be recorded. He was like, it was just got kind of wishy-washy all of a sudden, and just faded away. It does get frustrating because it's so obvious. There isn't like, well, it's gray area. There's no gray area at all. There's none. Okay? And you know how you know there's no gray area? Because they were investigating it for a while, and all 3 witnesses said it wasn't a suicide. Okay? So that means that they even knew that the evidence didn't show that. So they investigated it, but they just, it's like, screw it. Just go with suicide, we're done. You know, it might be where you posted it, but it isn't on there, Matt. It might be because if it's on Twitter, look, it's right here, look. That's the thumbnail. Well, you can't see it, but if you see it there, that's because it's already been posted on Facebook, and I'm going to have to refresh that a little bit later. You know, there's actually this place you have to go. Look at this. Facebook for developers. How does Facebook crawler work? And then you have to put the video back in to the... That's not it. That was the GBI one. So you have to take the video, grab the link again, then you go to Facebook, you put it right there, and then you debug it. And then see how her face is right there? So you have to like keep scraping it over and over and over again until it finally replaces it out. Because see, there's the thumbnail right there. I've got the thumbnail there. It just hasn't updated there yet. Right? That's where you tried to post it, was on Facebook, right? You don't see that on YouTube, right? Because that wouldn't make any sense. See? Even right there, that's the place you put it. There's the thumbnail, and this is what they gave it originally, but it's right there. I'm not sure why it's not updating, but well, who cares, right? Yeah. And see, look, there's the video right here, and that's what it's got as a thumbnail. I think what the problem is that I probably shared it on Twitter. Let me, I don't know if Twitter has the same kind of deal, but let's see. No, that's the wrong one. You can't do that one. That link doesn't work. That's the one right there.
Trying to move my hand. And I'm like, DJ, please, just give me the goddamn gun, man. I said, you don't want to do nothing like it.
Yeah, that means on Twitter, it's got, somebody's already posted it with that wrong thumbnail. It might have been me, actually, because I did it first. Huh. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. But as I just showed you, I've got the thumbnail in there correctly. Well, good. She can feel embarrassed for all the shit she's put Amanda's family through. But it's not supposed to be on there. It's a different thumbnail that I've got saved. Yeah, I went I put on Twitter directly from, but it's also saying that on Facebook, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so for those of you who missed the new updated rap, I'm going to play it again here, okay? This is for my, this is the one that Trace Elements 13 did, but I finally pulled it off where I made it all the way through. Is that okay? So I know there's people that weren't here when I... There we go, watch this, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregel's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect ya, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. Well, there you go. That was the Trace Elements 13. That's right, Trace Elements 13. That's her rap. I changed it up a couple lines at the end there, though. Yeah, Master G. Just kidding. That's already taken. That was in the Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, I was going to start playing that at the end of my shows. Like right at the end when I sign off, even after my outro and my 2 John Boy comments. You know, the
Good night, Mary Lou.
Good night, John Boy.
Why do you call me John Boy every single time? I mean, that's not my real name, but you keep calling me that.
I don't know, it just sounds good. The Waltons used to say it all the time.
Oh, I know, but, you know, I'm getting a little tired of it.
Well, that's too bad, John Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hugosaurus. Okay, I think that's going to be it for me tonight, everybody. I hope you guys, you know, I don't know, it's kind of weird to say enjoyed, but, you know, at least had a good time trying to go, you know, going back over the crime, getting together the actual, almost like a PSA to get the manner of death changed in that case. It's ridiculous. Okay? It really is. I think everybody realizes that. Anybody that spends 5 minutes on that case knows that to be true. That it's absolutely bogus. Okay? Thanks, Miss Angels. I'm going to do a flyby here. In my favorite spot yet again. Yeah, it feels good. I hated having it looming.
Thanks for your big heart, Gray, and helping so many in the true crime community. Collision, folded hands, medium light skin tone collision.
And again, thank you very much to Miss Angels and Streamlabs for absolutely nailing the descriptions of those emojis. My God, could you be more specific next time? Oh, there goes Lori right there. She just fell down. Okay. I'm gonna go that way. Thanks, Jessica Schuba. One more time. Yes, Darce Cabins. I even did an hour notification before the show started. Poor Darce Cabins. Woohoo! crazy. Blue's going nuts out here. Here he started growling at something. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up. I hope we can help get some, actual justice for DJ out there. We're gonna have to, make sure that the right people see this. I mean, just keep bugging them over and over again, everybody, until somebody just takes a look at it. All you got to do is see what they said. Okay, you have 3 people. There's no reason specifically for Mark to not completely say, oh yeah, he had it and pulled the trigger. He even said that his wife pulled the trigger by pulling his arm. Okay, so it's not a suicide. There's no chance of it being a suicide, and that's it. So he's still back there. DJ's back there in the image back there. So again, thank you guys all very much. And oh yeah, hold on. Let me. I forgot to say thanks to everybody. I don't want to forget that. Thank you to Andrea Ruggiero Drum, Miss Skiss, Chrissy Paradis, Meredith McKinsey, Mark Seidel, new member Mandy Seebeck. Thank you. Claudia Neubauer, Foxtrot, Miss Skiss again, and Miss Angels. Appreciate it very much. All right. So that is it for the show tonight. I am going to... Hold on, I got to get something ready. One last time on my the new wrap. Okay, I got that there. Okay. All right. I think I got it. So, it's complicated right now, but that's it for the show. Thank you very much, and I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. So, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. 2, 3, 4.
Good night, John Boy.
Wait a minute. You called me John Boy again?
Yes, I sure did.
Well, that's not very nice. I was telling you earlier to call me something else. You actually just woke me up. I was in another room. But anyways, yes. Good night, Mary Lou.
Yay, good night, John Boy.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right,